here with an update um, on a word that I used. Um, what did I call it? I called it inadequate when I was talking about ear stretching. I think I'm going to, yeah, change the title of this to something. I'm going to figure it out during this live stream when I'm going to change the title to during, I'm going to change the chat title during the live stream. Something about ear stretching though, but it has to do with this word, inadequate. Um, that's not my word. I have used it a couple of live streams though, the two previous live streams. That's not my word. I only began using that word when it came to ear stretching after I heard it in my research. Um, of ear stretching. Um, Now, when it came to the encyclopedia that I first saw ear stretching, um, how the ear stretching was prepped was like with a nail, with a nail and a knife or something like that. And I'm like, okay, by any means necessary, I guess. You want the job done, you get it done. But that was then, that was in the encyclopedia. I ain't saying I am not saying, to do anything like that. Um, thus there's people saying that certain type of piercings are inadequate and they have their reasons. So thus, you got your research, you got your history, you got your experiences, and then people say inadequate due to like the health of the ears and the skin, uh when it comes to certain instruments being the blunt instruments being used um to pierce ears. um Talking about regular ear piercing, um when ear piercings are done with a certain instrument that allows for healthy healing, healthy airflow through the piercing, that's considered adequate. So, yeah, I picked up that word from previous research. And I say previous, like when I began researching ear stretching, when I started practicing ear stretching. But yeah, when I was reading it in the encyclopedia, it was talking about that, and it wasn't like I was gonna do it. I mean, I read it and I said I wanted when I saw the picture in the encyclopedia, I was inspired to have stretched ears. However, I wasn't inspired to get the stretched ears how the person in the encyclopedia, how the procedure was done in the encyclopedia. And I was inspired by their ears. Um, However, I their ears are not my goal. Like they had a look to their ears that's not my goal. It's just I was inspired to have my own stretched ears and how I would like my ears to look. So yeah, I was not inspired by the procedure. Heck no. um. So yeah, there's all kinds of kits and research and things to do and people sharing their experience and things like that so that we can make a healthy decision on how to go about stretching our ears. Whether we get them punctured at a body piercing place or we begin it um, with the ear stretching kit. Uh, uh, but yeah, I just wanted to come on here and kind of clarify that that's not my term. I don't I didn't consider I research really clarifies what's at hand. So research and a lot of body piercers know how healthy body parts that should be like body piercers. I've researched a ear stretching. I listened to some body piercers and they was talking about the difference between getting your ears pierced at a body piercing place versus a non-specific place. And the instruments used and how your ear looks and feel after going to a non-specific piercing place and getting it done with the wrong instrument that doesn't allow healthy healing and airflow. And I have experienced that firsthand. I have my ear piercings um that was done at non-specific body piercing place. They were done at other places that sold other things other than piercings. And yeah, so I have experienced my ear piercings closing and having to open them up, and the body piercers, they explain what that is and what that does to your ear every time you blah 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 blah. Like they got all the information. So if you want to go and research it like I did, you'll hear all of the information about the differences. So yeah, I did all of that. Just kind of giving you a bit of the um what is it? Just 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 a bit here and there from my research. But yeah, I have the experience of the quote unquote inadequate piercings. But I also want to say ear stretching can be done on quote unquote, said inadequate piercings. Um, cause we doing it. Like I'm doing it. and other people alike. We've all had, the quote unquote inadequate. I that like I just wanted to come and say that's not my word. I just picked it up after my research and heard other folks saying it. Oh, but yeah, that's not my word, but that's what they say. And it's like yeah, um, I didn't know if I could stretch with it, and a lot of people don't know. You have to try it and see for yourself, really, how it's gonna go. Um, a lot of people say, the preferred is the body piercing, the body piercing, um, way because of the tools that they use. Um, and thus your ear will be healthy and it'll have the adequate airflow and allows for it, that stretch that you want, that natural stretch that you want. But like I said, in the encyclopedia that I read, child, they was not talking about no elasticity and talking about your ear. They took that hammer and they took that nail. I was like, yeah, no, y'all can miss me with that. I'm gonna get the ear stretching some other kind of way, cause y'all tripping, like I mean, I like it, cool for the curvature, but yeah, I'm I like how there's all this new technology, all these newfound fangled ways to get um your ear stretch so you don't have to do it the encyclopedia way. I was like, oh, heck no. Mm-mm. But with the stretch ear, I was like, oh, yeah. But yeah, that way, I was like, no. And even with the puncturing, I had inquired about getting the puncture, because of the procedure. It was said that you could be at a bigger size faster, and your ears tend to stretch faster with puncturing. But when the piercing guy um told me the procedure, I was like, no. I was just like, no, like, uh, I said ear stretching, not ear puncturing. So I went the ear stretching way instead of the ear puncturing way. But I do consider it. I do consider it. I do consider it though because it would clip out. I mean, there's various ways you can go by stretching your ears. You can get your ear piercing redone over. I've been considering that. You can get the puncture. I've been considering that. Um, and then you could just go on with it without any of that, and that's what I've been doing so far. Um, yeah, and with yeah, but yeah, I've researched all of that. I've researched the puncturing and the procedure and what it could look like after the procedure, like what happens after the procedure and how you gotta have like a bigger tunnel in than the size of the ear and all that stuff. And I just was like, ugh, I don't know. I don't know. I was like, I said ear stretching, not ear puncturing. But when I went back to my resources and learned about the differences in, the tools that are used for ear piercings and having ear piercings that are open versus closed. And I was really considering going back and getting the puncture uh because it seemed like it would be it would rectify any like any of that. Um, yeah. So, and then there's like, how do I do it? Because I have like three well, yeah, right. I have three open ear piercings, and I was wondering, how do I get my puncture? And like, do I want my first piercing punctured, or do I want my second and my first piercing punctured, or do I want all three punctured and then just have one big one? If I have that, then I would be at my goal size faster if I got um either one of the two. Like if I do, and then it'll make one big piercing. Like, yeah. So I was thinking about that. Like, what do I do? Like, I got options. Like, I can make my three piercings two piercings, or I can make my three piercings one piercing. And going from three piercings to one piercing, and I'd reach my stretching goal sooner than later doing that. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I ain't giving it too much thought because I do enjoy my three piercings, even though they do overlap a little bit. Ugh, they do. They overlap. Um, so I don't know. So in the meantime, in between time, I'm stretching them the way I am, and you know, you, you just, I guess you just choose, you choose your lane you want to start at. You choose your starting line and bob, weave, and pivot the way you want to, you know, experience your ear stretching um experience. Hello there. Random. Okay, so the title of this live stream, um, ear stretching. It's not necessarily ear stretching terms. Um, Let's see. Ina- inadequate, inadequate, inadequate piercing. Oh fudge, I can't do it. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. Mm, 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 mm. Ow. I'm not trying to offend. I'm like, don't you call my ear piercing inadequate? Shoot, compared to that hammer and that nail, he got the job done. I'm just making a joke. I'm just making a joke. Um, making a joke. Um, but yeah, the research that I've done on ear piercings, uh, to anybody that hasn't had an ear piercing, I would recommend going to a body piercing place. I have recommend people going to a body piercing place because it's enough of us that have had the quote unquote inadequate piercings, and we do complain about how what happens to our ears and how it keloids up, and then we have to reopen it and it hurts and it's a time and not a fun one. um with how we had our ears, not necessarily how we had it done, but then the aftermath. There's a lot of aftermath um when getting your ears pierced from a place that doesn't use the proper piercing tools to allow healthy healing. So when you go to a body piercing place, they got the adequate stuff, or do your research on them too. Do your research on the body piercing place as well. Cause they went to school to do that. I don't think the people that be at these um shops where they do everything and then they offer ear piercing on the side. I don't think they gotta go to school for that. The body piercers have to go to school and learn all these different things, and then so they know what's gonna give you that healthy piercing. And well, like I said, do your research on them as well, and what certificates they have, um and what procedures they use and things. So yeah, I researched all of that. I even looked at a um like a drawing sketch video of what happens when you go to places that just offer piercings on the side. And it's really trauma. Like the video and the research that saw, it was like, yeah, this is like trauma to your ear and this, that, and the third, and blah 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 blah. But yeah, it's a lot if you want to learn it. And I chose to research it and learn it so that I can understand what I was already handling. Like I was already going through it. I already experienced it with my ears opening up and all of that stuff. So my research really just confirmed what I was going through. It just gave a word and terms to what I was handling already with my ear piercing. But yeah, if you come in, you already got your ear piercings because a lot of us got them when we were babies, and we can still stretch our ears, of course, because we're doing it right. Now, I don't know how it uh, goes as far as like taking your ear jewelry out. Well, I kind of do. Yeah, I do. So for us that had our piercings done at a place that offered it on the side, if we were to take our ear stretching jewelry out, our ears would close up fast and small. Like our ears probably would go back dang near to the starting point. It would probably look like we didn't even pierce our ears, or not pierce our ears, stretch our ears if we took our jewelry out. Um, just because that, like, we took the jewelry out, and then there's nothing to keep that skin from closing back up, and because we already had that closed piercing that we had to reopen, with when we put on earrings, all of that skin is just gonna close back up. I've heard another person to share their experience on them leaving their jewelry out, like, I don't know, a couple of days or so, and their ears closed up, like, it went down significantly. Like, they were up in size, and then, like, they had their jewelry out for like a few days, maybe. I don't know if she said a week. I don't know if she said a week, but she left it out, and she went to put it back in, and she had to go drop down to a whole nother low. I'm like, mm-mm. Now, and then she had to stretch back up, but she couldn't stretch back up real quick, like, cause her ear like stretched down, like she didn't even stretch up. So she had to re-stretch, um, continue to, the process of stretching back up to where she was. And that took, I don't know, months maybe. I don't know, at least months. I don't know exactly. Um, off the top of my head, but I know from my experience, I leave my jewelry out. Well, this was before this size, like when I was in a 14 and I left my jewelry out. Um, I took my jewelry out at night and went to put it back in the daytime. And the later I wait in the daytime, the close the closer my ears were. Can I say the closer my ear was? Yeah, new terms. The closer my ear was. Um, like, yeah, if I waited later in the day, like, yeah, it it go down with the sun. Like, that's I think one time I waited 2 days. And boy, it went down like almost like it was down the next size down. And I was like, oh snap, like no. Mm-mm. So yeah, it was real tough to put back in the size that I was in, after waiting 2 days. It was real tight. So I was like, oh heck no, I can't do no 3 days. I know that. Because I think I would have had to have gone down a size if I had waited 3 days. Because it was tough after 2 days. Um, and I think that might have something to do with us having our ears done the way we had them done, and we hadn't, done any procedures to rectify that. So I think all that skin just recompressed back to how it was. Um, but yeah, if we got the procedure like the punctures or like redid our piercings, then perhaps our ears would stay open. Our ear piercings would stay open, perhaps. I don't know. I'd have to ask. I'd have to research someone who's had their ear pierced at an ear piercing place. Now, I think Quotidian Light had her ears punctured, and she said that her ears closed down. Um, but I don't think hers closed down as much. I don't think. Like hers didn't close all the way, but I think she was at a 2.5, maybe, and she left hers out. And but I don't know an update on her, because I hadn't looked her up recently, even though I have been thinking about her and thinking about her. So, but the last time I saw her, um, she did say that they went down considerably, but they weren't gonna go all the way down. You know, if you want that closed look, um, but that was after. I think that was after she got them punctured. I think I don't know. I might be mixing two of her stories up. Um, but yeah, somebody was talking about getting their ears closed and surgically closed, and so that they could have jobs and stuff. And I'm like, to me, ear, 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 stretched ears, when they have the plugs in them, my look at ears with ear stretch plugs in them. All I see, it look like regular ear jewelry. It looks like regular. Uh, okay, it looks regular to me. I don't know. It might. I don't know why. I cause okay. So when somebody is wearing, okay, somebody with outstretched ears is wearing earrings, and they're wearing like the big round circular earrings or the big square earrings. When I see them, it looks like it look like ear stretching jewelry. I like it like it's mimicking the look of ear stretching jewelry without having their ear stretched. That's what it looked like to me. But it could be that everything I think I see becomes ear stretching jewelry to me. So I just it's like I can't see it no other way. It's when I look at somebody that doesn't have stretched ears, it look like they mimicking like they got stretched ears with the jewelry that they're wearing. They might not be doing it on purpose to look like they got stretched ears, but to me, it looks like what that mirrors. So it all look like stretched ears to me. Like whether you got stretched ears or not, it it look it look fine. It look great. You you rocking the look of stretched ears. You just rocking the look of stretched ears. That's why I don't get why stretched ears stand out. And I might not get it because mine aren't as big yet as to them standing out. Like I feel like mine look like regular um earrings to me. But that's probably because they're not 2.5 inches. Now, maybe when they're 2.5 inches, they'll look like stretched ears to me. And I think that's what the other person that was talking about them getting them surgically sewed up and stuff like that so he can have a job. Ugh, I, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I hope the company paid for you to have the damn procedure. I don't know what to tell you. Like, oof, mm, mm-mm. Like, and it is people that do the ear stretching thing and then think about um getting to a certain size and then consider going back to their um like they never done it before. Like like they wanna stretch their ears and then be like, okay, I'm done, and then look like they ain't never had an ear stretching thing. But that's how people say to each their own. I guess that's they want the experience, but they don't want the look. I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I didn't come at it that way. But I could see that being cool, if that's what they want to do, that's fine too. Like, yay, I did it. And now they want to get off the ride, it's like riding the ride and wanting to get off. Like, okay, this my stop. Now I'm going back now. Now they gonna close their ears back up. Okay, that's for you. I'm gonna keep on going. And yeah. Um, Quotidian light was my my green light to go ahead and start. Even though I started researching. So she was like my first resource when I began researching stretched ears. And then I went to a piercing place and spoke to the piercer, and he was talking about puncturing. And I said what I said. I done told y'all. And then I started looking into kits and the different materials that they come in. And I really had to learn my body. Um, and because of my experience with jewelry, I knew I couldn't get just any kit. I had to get the material that worked with my my genetic makeup. So I couldn't I had to leave stainless steel alone. So I got surgical steel, and that's been helping me, and I've been able to rock with that. Surgical steel, stones, um, like crystals and things, that's been working for me. What else? Um, yeah, I like the surgical steels. Um, and the stone. I like the yeah. So yeah, I had to get what worked for me and leave the other stuff alone and learn all those things. Um, and then I bought my kids. Um, and there are different types of kits. Um, and Quotidian Light, she also talked about the different types of kits. She recommends the 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 screw on kits. And I had got that one, and that one is a cool one. You attach the tunnel by screwing it on to the taper, and then so when you put in when you so it's like a all-in-one taper and tunnel connection. And then so when you insert that, you got just unscrew the taper part and then put screw on the tunnel part. And it's a wonder a lot more people don't use that kit, because that kit is tray chic. Well, I like that one pretty well. And you get rid of the O-rings as well. Um with that kit. Um because I did get a kit with the O-rings and how you have to follow it up and go behind it and then try and put the tunnel in. And what I had what I did was I would insert my t- taper from the back to the front, and then I'd put the tunnel on. Sometimes I would do it that way, and then sometimes I just did it the other way, and I would put my tunnel on backwards. I've done that a few times. Um, but if I really wanted my tunnel to face forward, then I would insert the taper through the back, then put my tunnel through the on the taper, and then that would guide the tunnel in my ear with the help of the taper, so that I wouldn't have to chase the taper. I would guide the tunnel, and that only works for me if my ear is ready to stretch up. That will not work if my ear is not ready to stretch up. So yeah. But yeah, I share that because I don't see too many people doing it like that. I don't think I've seen anybody do it like that. If I have, it's maybe one person, maybe. But I think I made that up. I don't know. Because a lot of people that I see, with they chase the taper with the tunnel. They don't turn the taper and utilize it like I just said. So yeah, I try and share that method just in case it helps somebody out. Uh, uh, and just for an example, like if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say like ear jewelry, when like somebody that doesn't have stretched ears wear earrings that look like they have stretched ears. For example, Shaka Zulu. I just knew Shaka Zulu had stretched ears. I just was like, those look like ear tunnels to me. Like, like you couldn't tell me that those weren't ear tunnels. Like, I mean, ear plugs. I just knew those was earplugs. I was like, he has stretched ears. But this is also after I was researching stretched ears. And so the phenomenon of that is when you begin um, looking up a certain thing, then you begin to see that certain thing everywhere. So maybe that's what it was. Cause I had seen Shaka Zulu before, and I mean, I don't know. It didn't occur to me. I don't think like the first time I saw it, but definitely the second time I saw it after I started researching stretched ears. I mean, I just knew that man had stretched ears, and it wasn't stretched ears. It was jewelry that looked like stretched ears. So that's an example. Another example is the um the movie Jingle Jangle, starring Felicia Rashad. Her character looks like she has stretched ears. Um, with the jewelry that she has that one that she's wearing. It look like stretched ears. I was looking out like it's the jewelry. I know she don't wear. I mean, but it's the jewelry, and it looks like stretched ears to me. It could look like stretched ears to me because, like I said, I've been researching it. I like stretched ears. I'm stretching my ears, and or it just could look like stretched ears. Either way, whether I'm researching it or not. But yeah, those are some examples. So like if you was to go and look at it and now you done heard my live stream and you go and look at those examples, or maybe you'll see other examples, and you'll see like, oh, I can see the resemblance, like they resemble stretched ears. Not necessarily, uh but not necessarily look like stretched ears, but resemble stretched ears. I don't know. Whatever. Um so yeah, those are two examples that I noticed um when I was watching those things. Um to where I had to take a double take and maybe pause the movie and rewind. I'm like, "Yeah, look like she got stretched ears." I felt excited. I felt happy to see another stretched ear kind of full. I mean, look alike. you know, another stretched ear person, like it looked like she was repping for the stretched ear community. Like, I mean, they probably even didn't even think about stretched ear, but it looked that way to me. I, how people say I felt seen. I guess that was how I was feeling about it when I saw that she looked like she is rocking, some stretched ears, even though she's not. It's just the jewelry in her. It's the jewelry that she's wearing. It looks like that. Um, and I think that's all for now. Um, think. um, mm, I kind of want to. I'm trying to think if I want to give an update on my ear. In this 14. I do feel a difference. I'm kind of hesitating because I don't. It could be because I was trying to force the 12 in that my ear feels like it's feeling, and I am experiencing a bit of that. Um, a bit of that crust, but I don't know. It could be, and I say the crust because without, like, if I was to wear like regular earrings, because of how my piercing is, um, after it's been open, it and then it closes again, it gets a crust after it's been reopened, after it's closed again. Um, I don't know if that's what's going on, but I think because I really, really tried to get that 12, that size 12 in, and I think I might have scratched up my ear a bit. Yeah, I think I did that. So my ear feels a slight tenderness to it today or tonight, or today, whatever. Yeah, it feels a bit tender. Um, I'm kind of gonna chalk that up to the fact that I had continued to put that 12 in when it wasn't going in. After I tried to put the 10 in and it wasn't going in. So yeah, that was a lot for my ear to experience yesterday. Um so yeah, it's saying a little owie. So that'll be healing up. And I'll see how that goes. Um, this is the most that my top piercing has been stretched to the 14. And I sat and tried to stretch it to a 10 and a 12. I actually did stretch it to a 12. I just couldn't. and get the tunnel in. So yeah, my ear is like wah, a little bit. And the 14s, my ear had stretched to the 14 because I did try the 14s. I tried the 14 taper and it just went straight through like butter, like. And if I had to stop there, then my ear wouldn't be whang. But I didn't stop there. So, wah, wah. I mean, I just wanted to see. I just thought, I got a hot overzealous. I don't know. Just excited. I was excited. My ear had stretched without me stretching it. So I was like, oh, okay. Let's see how far you jump. I thought it might have jumped 2 sizes. But it was like, no, just one. And that's all right. That's all right. No rush, no rush. Because now I got to heal. Because I sit there and tried to force it to the 12 and it would not go in. It went in the 14 fine. I'm like, okay, I'll take that. But yeah, this is a great example of, I could have this piercing re-pierced. I've really been thinking about that because of the research. After, hearing all the pros and cons of the different piercing tools that are used, I was like, well, I could go and get my piercings re-pierced, and that could rectify the situation. I am only an expert to my situations, my experiences. I'm only an expert to my own personal experiences. Uh, as far as advice goes, there are plenty of experts available via, your research. Do your research. How everybody say, do your research, do your research, do your research. You know, do your research. Look it up, look it up, look it up. Um, I have my experiences that I had firsthand. So I would advise from my experiences, um, and how people say be better than me. Like when don't do the same thing as me. I mean, unless you want to, but it's like, look, I done, traveled this road. Don't go there. Don't go there. If you don't have to, if you but yeah, research at any place you go to, because there are some piercing places that um I've seen. There's so many different experiences you can have. I seen while in my my research, somebody get a puncture and they get the bigger size faster because they got the puncture, and how that procedure goes and stuff like that. And then when they're ready to size up, they go back to the ear place, the ear the I'm about to call it the ear stretching place. They go back to ear the body piercing place to size up, like the body piercing person. um I However that is done, whoever that is that do that, I guess look at the ear, and I guess the person, picks out the jewelry, and the body piercing person puts that jewelry in, and that's their experience. I didn't go to the place with them. I'm only relaying what I heard through my research on that part, you know. But yeah, that's how they said it went down, like that. I guess they were checking to see how it was healing up and all that stuff. Cause they go into detail. When you look up this stuff, people go into full details, and uh it be you could kind of call it graphic on some of the stuff that they talk about and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a lot of people that are knowledgeable on the subject, and they'll give you the lowdown on the skinny. They'll tell you what it is and what it be like. You know, and then I chose my experience. I chose it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna choose this way for now. You know, till I get to a body piercer, or my next consultation. So in the meantime, in between time, um, I'm stretching it how I'm stretching it. I'm stretching how I'm stretching. So yeah, that's what's going on now. Stretching how I'm stretching with the knowledge that I've researched. Stretching how I'm stretching with the knowledge that I'm researching. And anytime I need a refresher course, I research it again. I look it up again. I just had to do that just the last month. I looked it up again to see, what the timelines are for stretching and when to insert double flares and all that stuff. Because I honestly needed a refresher course because I hadn't done it in I hadn't stretched up to a double flare in so many years. Like it had been so many years. I was like, what is the procedure for this? Yeah, I'm gonna need to look that up again because I know I seen it in my research. So I just looked it up again and voila, it was, amongst any of the several, videos and tutorials and search results that comes up that you can choose from and, collect that data so that you can proceed with um how do you say so you can proceed with what so you can proceed well informed. Hmm. 'Cause that's what it's all about, being well informed. Being well informed on what you're doing and, the cautions and procedures and things and asking your questions and things like that. You got the comment section for questions. You got professionals you can reach out to and so that you can be well informed in what you know, how you proceed. I thought about it. I did arm myself with some tools, very primitive. Um, I got the basics of what it how to like re-pierce your piercing. I just hadn't done it. I just I just went on ahead and pierced my piercings I went on ahead and stretched my piercings how I had already had somebody else to pierce them for me. I did not, even though I did research it and I got a couple of things to do it myself, I didn't get everything. Maybe if I got everything, I probably would have already did it because then it would be, toot sweet. It would just be pop and then it'll be done and over. But because I didn't get everything, I feel like it would be slower. And I just hadn't done it. I just hadn't done it. How do people say? I was just thinking about it. I was just thinking about it. Yeah. I hadn't went through with that part because I'm just like somebody else do it. Not Yeah, I'm all right with somebody else doing it. When they know what they're doing. I ain't with no child doing it. Like say, no, my friend. My same age is not about to pick. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm going to a professional, body shop and getting my piercings done. That's how I roll. I rather, get mine done at a body shop. Yeah, because that's a whole nother experience that some people have chosen to go at it like that. And I'm just like, no, that's how people say that's not my ministry. No, that's that's not my ministry. Like I ain't come here for that. Oh, yeah. That one ain't on that one up that wasn't on my bingo card. To have my friend putting pierce no, that wasn't on my bingo card. Now to curl and iron my bangs, that was on my bingo card. Okay. That one was on my bingo card. Piercings from a mm, from a minor, and we decided no, that one on my bingo card. But yeah, with the bang and the hot curlers and burning a little bit of my hair out. Yeah, that was on my bingo card. Yeah, I did that. Hmm. Selective things, I yeah. You gotta choose your smiles or your cries, cause oh boy, and going home and who you let do your who are you? No, no, no. Oh boy. But yeah, I just wanted to come and say that's not my word. I picked it up and perhaps I'll put it down um after this live stream. Because yeah, that wasn't my word at first. And it like I when I think about that encyclopedia um entry that I was reading and the procedure for it and what was used to perform that, I, that like, I mean, we ain't far off from the track, I mean, I mean, but, we can get it done, guys. It's still hope for us yet, for those of us that got our ears pierced at places that offer their piercings on the side. Um, yeah, there's ear stretching hope for us. We got options. We got options, and a lot of us stretch our ears just the way that they are, and without any of those other options. I'm just saying you know we got options, or we go at it how without the corrective whatever blah blah blah. But yeah, it kind of made me feel some kind of way a little bit, not just a little teeny bit. I'm like, I mean, thank you, for the information that let us know, what we was, you know, handling, with our ears, being pierced the way that they were, and giving us that clarification of terms of why our ears would close back up and why we had to, you know, reopen them, and giving us that wording for all of that. Thank you. But you know how it say all roads lead to Rome. You know, that's what I'm getting at. Like, there's not just one way, you know, and we learning that, and we're creating our way, I guess you could say, you know. You can collect um the wallpapers that are available in the shorts of the channel. Yeah. In the shorts of the channel, there's a link so that you can get a download of the of what's it called, HD high quality download of this. Um, that was a goal that I had. Um, so yeah, congratulations. I have accomplished another goal that I had, another desire that I had was to create and sell wallpapers. Um, so yeah. Yay! I did it. I have a series of wallpapers that are available. Um, and you can collect all of them. Um, and enjoy. Like I said, there's a high definition uh download copy. Um, the shorts that are on the channel are just for visuals. Uh, in the description box is the high definition copy. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thumbs up, comment on the replay, share. The community tab is active. It already has posts on there. I think you can post on there too. I think it's open to the community like that. So yeah, there are some exclusive items available on the community tab. Products and such, so forth, and vis-a-vis the community tab. Welcome to the community. Do subscribe, like, and share the live stream, videos, and shorts. Video, live stream, short. Yeah. And posts on the community tab. Feel inclined to. All right, so I'm gonna be up out of here in about a couple of minutes. How are we feeling about the new Michael Jackson movie? Are we ready to watch it? Have you seen the trailers? I think I saw a couple of trailers and the sound and tone, it kind of felt like a horror movie a little bit. And it's PG-13. I was like, oh yeah, that's a horror movie right there. I don't know how it is. I don't know if I want to watch a review because I had got ready to watch a review and then I didn't watch it, and I see a few more reviews available. I don't know what I want to do. If I want to watch a review or what. And is it at the movies? I think I did hear that it was at the movies. So do I want to go to the movies and see it? Because I was thinking about enjoying it like how Michael um was in the theaters eating his popcorn, enjoying the movie that he was watching in Thriller when he was like, shh, this is the best part. He was eating that popcorn. He was enjoying himself. I kind of feel like having that experience in the movie theaters. So going and seeing it in the theaters. I don't know if I don't guess I want to watch a review because I don't know if I want anybody else's opinion on it, because it could, I don't know, people's opinion could sway either way. I don't know, if they coming from a fan point of view, I don't know. I don't know how they coming, and they could. ride the fence, due to allegations and things like that. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. And so I have left the movie reviews alone. Um, and I might just watch the movie for myself. If I do, um, the trailer did. I don't know. The trailer looked kind of scary to me a little bit because I'm guessing that was Joe Jackson and Joe Jackson, and then Michael Jackson. He was like, I don't know what to think, and then Joe Jackson was like, I told you what to think, and I was like, ah. I was like, that's some scary shit. Like, oh my goodness. Oh, I'm scared. I'm kind of joking a little bit. I'm kind of joking a little bit. Um, but yeah, I guess it would be cool watching it at the movies because I like movies and a popcorn and some food. Cause I was at a movie theaters and they had burgers and beignets and but I don't know if was that peanut butter in the beignets? I can't have peanut butter. But yeah, I had me a bow, boy. It was so good. But yeah, it's a whole experience when I go to the movies. I'm like, I don't know his name in Annie. I just call him Picard, Captain Picard. Um, when he's in the movie Annie and they going Annie and they get ready to go to the movies. That's how I feel, y'all, when I'm going to the movies. And it's a whole production. Like like it's a whole production. Like lights, camera, action. We going to the movies. Like I love it. I love it. I love it. The whole musical and everything. Let's go out to the movie. And then they do that tap dancing number. Oh, I just that's probably my whole favorite part of that movie too. But yeah, that's how I feel about going to the movies. Like, you get dressed up and you get your food and and enjoy. Now, it was some movie that was coming out in theaters and it was gonna be in IMAX and somebody said that they had their seats. Um, I said, "Ooh, that sound like a good like that'll be a fun tan. Um, that'll be like a roller coaster ride, like, 'cause they showed the seats and the seats was like moving and um all that. And that was in the theaters. Now, I did see the Oz. It looks so beautiful. I kind of was getting a little nauseous though because of how it's filmed. Now, the Oz is in the dome. There's a dome. I think it's in Vegas. I'm not exactly sure the location of the dome, but the dome is like the new movie in the dome now is Oz, and they got the wind I don't know about all that wind. And definitely not all that paper. I ain't feeling none of that paper. I was like, ooh, I'm like, if I go, I'm gonna have to wrap my hair. Like, nah, y'all ain't gonna be blowing no debris all over me. And especially if it's just paper. I could see if it was petals, but papers, no. Um, but yeah, I saw a bit of the odds, and they were in they was easing on down the road, and even before you get into the dome, they had the Wicked Witch's legs hanging out of the dome with the golden slip, the glass, not the golden glass slip, Lord, the ruby red slippers on her feet. And then when you go in the dome, and then you got all the crew, and then they go into the field, the field of pe the pansies. I don't know what is it. The flowers that make you sleepy, and you go in there, and Dorothy getting sleepy, and they was like, "You gotta get up, Dorothy. We can't stop now. We're almost there." And then it goes down, and then it's like you going down. It's like you laying down, like how the camera goes angle. It's like you laying down, and that kind of creeps me out a little bit. And then it goes down, down, down. When I realized what was happening, I was like, "Oof, okay." So now it's like we're down, and it's all it's like a Alice in Wonderland when Alice shrinks and she goes smaller down past the flowers. It's like that. And then you're in that, and then it's like flowers everywhere, and then it looks like petals are floating about. I don't know if it's real petals or not, but it looked pretty. And so that they showed that, and then um I think when Dorothy is on her bike, you got that windstorm, and then you got the cow going around in the wind, and I mean it's spectacular, and I like it. I like how it looks. Um, so yeah, that's a cool thing to go and see. Um, uh, I don't know what that other movie is though. It was something else. I saw somebody posting about some other movie that was in IMAX, but I don't know what it is at the moment. But they had a plan. They have like a membership, and they get to see like so many movies in a day or something like that. So they were just having fun being at the movie theaters. They started like early in the morning and had coffee at the movie theaters. I was like, wow, I've never had a coffee at the movie theaters. Like, what? Like, wow, they having an experience. Like, wow. So yeah, they had breakfast and got coffee, and um had their first movie like in the morning, and I was like, wow, that's so yeah, then I think she said that they were able to watch like 5 movies with her membership. Um I guess they each had a membership, and they were able to watch 5 movies that day or something like that. Yeah, but whatever. That's all, folks. It's like 20. I because I don't know what the movie she was talking about, but yeah. But it seemed like it's, some movies to be enjoyed this year. Um, we got Scary Movie coming out in June. There's movies that's coming out before that. Um, He He-Man, Masters of the Universe. Like, clap it up for everyone who's been waiting in anticipation for that movie. Like, it's here. I have the power. You got Adam with the power. Like, yes. And I heard it was, cool with all the colors and gradients and all that stuff. um, what's another movie that's coming out this year? Um, I don't know when the Wile Coyote movie is coming out. I just saw a trailer for that just before the live stream here. Um, but yeah, what's another big movie? We got Masters of the Universe, the Michael Jackson movie. I know it's more movies, right? And then we got Scary Movie. That's a big one for me. Um, I think I did mention Michael Jackson because I said that seemed like it would be like a cool concert at the theaters. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which way the movie is going. Um, but yeah, I guess it's a bit of both, behind the scenes and on the stage being shown. I guess I don't know. Um, is that it? um, that's all that I can think of at the moment. I was trying to think of another movie. I said Masters of the Universe. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I was rewatching Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, but not in that order. I watched 2 first and then I watched 1. And I watched them with a watch along or with like a movie reaction. And I finally realized that they were talking about Phantos and they was talking about they had an Infinity Stone. So my aha moment while watching these movies was, okay, so each of these movies is like a separate movie, like talking about Infinity Stones, like, because when I was first watching it, like straight through before Phantos even happened, I didn't catch it. I didn't comprehend a Phantos or an Infinity Stone. So now that I know about a Phantos and Infinity Stones, and everything that happened after Phantos, all of those movies had something to do with finding a Infinity Stone. each of those movies, somebody was looking for an Infinity Stone and getting their hands on an Infinity Stone? Is that what was going on? Like it's a collection of movies, a series of movies that was talking about Infinity Stones and collecting one, and this movie had one, and this movie had one and two, and Infinity Stones, and that movie had however many Infinity Stones in that movie, and then they all came together in the other movie, and then that character collected them all. Is that what happened? Like, wow, that's so grand. Like, is there a collectible of all of these Infinity Stone movies? Like, so that we can watch it from the first to the last. Like, I know we did watch it from the first to the last, but to know that that's what was going on from the beginning is like even cooler. Like I was just like, "Oh wow, okay, so that's what's going on with this movie, that movie, this movie, that movie." And after all of those movies and collecting the Infinity Stone, which I don't know what y'all wanted it for because I wasn't paying attention to the movie. So I would have to watch the movie again to see why y'all even wanted the Infinity Stone. Like some people wanted it for their, you know, I guess for the, the different properties because the different Infinity Stones have different properties. I guess that's what was going on. So they wanted it for that specific reason. And then they were all separated, but somehow they got collected and Phantos got a hold of them. Somehow everybody allowed Phantos to have all the Infinity Rings. And then he just needed one more and he got it after all these movies. But I guess y'all didn't know that he was collecting the movie. See, this is why this would be a great rewatch to go back and rewatch all of the movies after knowing what happened to see, you know, all the turn of events and things like that. Like I know like each movie they were on their own agenda about the different Infinity Stones. So it'd be great to, see that and then also to see, who's got wind of what because we do hear about Phantos in um Guardian of the Galaxy. We even see his daughter. So I know is that the first movie talking about that an Infinity Stone? Like, yeah, I guess I'm asking for a rewatch of that whole shenanigans. Like, and then, but that even, watching the movie and trying to, stop Phantos from doing what he did. Even, Doctor Strange said that um it was gonna happen anyway, no matter the dimension, the portal, the timeline. Because, well, I don't know if you're like me and you watch a movie, even though you've seen it one time and you watch it again and you think the outcome's going to change just because you want it to change. You rooting for the movie like you hadn't seen it before, and then it happens the way it happens because it's a movie and it's pre-recorded, and you're just like, oh, but you rooting. It's like playing tug of war. I don't know something. Um, you know, but it seemed like a fun rewatch to pay attention to the stones and what they're for and stuff like that. And um it just seems like a great collection of movies, a great, I don't know if it was a series, and it doesn't seem like it's part one, part two, Infinite Stone, part three, Infinite Stone. It seemed like they were like broken up into their own separate movies, but they all coincide together. Is that what's going on? That's what it looked like to me going. That's what it's seeming like. Like I didn't know that Guardians of the Galaxy went with, those other movies, but apparently so. And but I don't know the any other threads other than the stones and Phantos. Those are the only common threads that I see between those movies. But yeah, seemed cool to me when I was watching the re-watch with the movie reaction. And movie reactions are so cool to me because they point out things that I've been missed when I watch a movie by myself. So that's why I'm just like, oh, like I'm seeing it fresh, and enjoying it anew. When I watch it with um a watch party, type of scenario. Because they'll been them point something out I didn't see when I was watching it, and I'm just like, wow, oh, okay. Like it's just like a whole new movie to me after rewatching it. It's just so enjoyable to me to yeah. So yeah, that sounds like a great collectible, a great collection of movies. You got the Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, and then I don't know how far they go other than 1 and 2, and then um the Avengers or what come next? What come next after that? I think I'll be watching it with a watch along. Whenever the watch along, the reaction channel that I watch, whenever they watch it, I'm gonna watch it too. And I think I've seen all of them. Well, kind of, sort of, not all of them. I think I missed the newest one when they had did like a time jump. What they did that alternate timeline thing. I missed that one. I didn't watch that one yet. Yeah, I missed I think that's the one before the last one. The movie before the last movie. I missed that one. I didn't watch that one. But I did see the last one. But yeah, I think they're gonna go in order and watch all of them. That is so cool how all of those movies coincide together, and the common denominator is the Infinity Stones, and somehow all Phantos had to do was sit back and allow all of them to bring them all out. Oh my goodness! He just how the bad guy say, he allowed them to do all the dirty work, all the heavy lifting for him. know. I guess it wasn't a timeline where everybody left them infinity stones alone. Because maybe in that timeline where well, not just that one timeline, so it would have had to been all the timelines. Everybody would have had to left them things alone. They would have had to let them be. But I guess not because with um t Doctor Strange said, oh, mm, that it wound up being the same way every time. But if you know that it winds up being the same way every time, couldn't you intersect it? Couldn't you intersect it somehow? I guess they tried, Lord. I guess they tried. I ain't want to give up. I'm steady trying to come up with solutions. Talking about, can't you intersect it? It done already happened. I'm talking about, can't you intersect it? Intersect it, Lord. Um, I'm up here thinking about maybe intersecting the stones and maybe destroying the stones before Phantos can get a hand on them. I guess that was all done, I guess. 'Cause even they was asking Doctor Strange to look again and all this, that, and the third, and he was like, no matter what. Bop, bop, bop. So I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if I agree with that answer, but they went with it because he was the only one that could go back round and through the clock, so they kind of just accepted his answer. But then you do see, I'm sitting up here thinking of different ways to. I about to say, you got that girl in Guardians of the Galaxy that make people sleep. She can make people sleep. What else she can do? She can make them sleep. What else she can do? She can know what he's thinking or feeling. I don't know if they utilize all of their resources, but I don't know. I guess they ain't had time to formulate, you know, a game plan type of situation. Cause I guess I don't know, going back in time to tell somebody to do boop, 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 and then they don't know what you're talking about because it hadn't happened yet, you know, that could take time within itself. I could see that, going on in Guardian of the Galaxy, you know, but where a character is like, look, they from the future. This is gonna happen. We need you to do. And then they be like, what are you talking about? This hadn't happened yet. And then the person from the future is like, of course it hadn't happened yet. That's what I just said, blah, blah, blah. And then that back and forth. You really got to be telling the truth and trusting. Well, if you the one from the back from the future, you the one really got to be truthful. And then the one that's in the present, they got to be trusting for it to, go off with a hitch. Any plans like that, like, uh, we made it to 2 hours. I was stretching it, guys. I was stretching it. It was a couple of times I wanted to cut it short, but we made it. We made it. Um, Comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for growing the channel and enjoying the content. Collect all the uh, downloadables that are available in the description box, and enjoy the content on the community tab and such. Thank you all. This has been a mystical year so far. We've went from 528 subscribers to 4,000 subscribers since January. So thank you all so much. Continue the good work, the good fun, and growing the channel. And yeah, congratulations. You guys did it. I asked you guys to show up and show out and grow the channel, and you are doing just that. Like, kudos and congratulations. Give yourselves, treat yourselves to the downloadables in the description box.
The pink moon's glow in April's air whispers secrets soft and rare. It calls the dreamers, hearts aligned, quiet truths the world can't find. April skies are glowing soft and wide. A whisper in the stars, the full moon's tide. Petals fall like promises in bloom. Tonight we rise beneath the pink lit moon.
That was a bit of some songs that I made last year. This is this anniversary. I made those songs last year, this month, last year in April. So, yeah, this is the anniversary month for those songs. Yay! You can hear the full songs via the link in the description box. So, yeah, yay! Uh, Subscribe to the channel, thumbs up if you like the songs and things like that. You can let me know. You can leave comments and emojis and things like that. Toodles.